Good morning and welcome. I am so glad to have you all join us this week at Unity of Gaithersburg for another fabulous Sunday celebration. I'm Pam, and it is my joy to greet you today. Hi! Let's all spread the love to each other. The love, the unity, the joy. So if you are joining us for the first time, we are delighted to welcome you, of course, into our sanctuary and from sacred cyberspace. Nanu, nanu. Our greeters have a little information packet for you if you're here for the first time. So if you want to raise your hand, hi, and we will pass out that information packet for you to fill out if you are here in bodily formation. Our greeters are very happy to have you and join you this week. So if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email or give us a call. Our contact info is unityofgaithersburg.org. This month, we are highlighting our diversity core value. So I look forward for us to share all of that. We embrace and model diversity, inclusivity, and equity with a commitment to practicing anti-racism, promoting social justice, and acknowledging and affirming the humanity and dignity of all individuals. We are also grateful for our Sunday morning staff, Keith, Kevin, and Jim, for bringing you the sound and the live stream. John Paul, Jim, and Jeff anchoring us with amazing music. And our wonderful facilities custodian, Michael, who's busy doing something, as he always is. Okay, our chaplains today are Lindsay and Cynthia. If you wanted to raise on up. So our chaplains are here to pray with you after the service. And they're here to listen, observe, validate, and empower through affirmative prayer. So if you would like to pray with our chaplains after today's service, we welcome you to do so. And now we're going to turn over to Rev Steve for our spiritual nugget.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is the day, is it not, that we are here to express our divinity, to express and acknowledge and embrace the divinity that we know and believe are in other folks. How about that? That's a summary in some ways of what one of Unity's teachings is, that how we fully express God depends on the level of awareness of our divinity. And sometimes we are not tuned in, if I speak for myself, I'm not tuned in to my own magnificence, my own divinity. And I see it in others, and I say, oh, they really got their act together, or they don't. Whichever I may be on that continuum, what's true for me? What are our beliefs? And so this very moment, as we acclaim our divinity, we can't help but be an expression of that into the world and into our lives. What a wonderful belief that is. So, here we go. We have some music now?
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
That is one of my favorite songs of all time. I actually walked down the aisle to that song. I did. And this week was my 7th anniversary, so there you go. But this is not about me, is it? No, it's not. So anyway. All right, and now let's talk about our transformational opportunities of Unity at Gaithersburg, where I am right now. So, all good. All right, here we go. All right, So first, we're going to talk about Ministerial Search Committee. I have an update for you. So I wear two hats. So Errol, Rose, and I are the co-coordinators of our Ministerial Search team. And we had our meeting this past Thursday, and it was extremely productive. I'm so grateful for everyone who's here, Jane, and everyone on our team. We're doing fantastic. We are just about to finish our packet, which is that packet that we send to Unity Worldwide Ministries to post the position. So we've been doing so much work in writing the narratives and the information, and based on the survey results that we got from everybody here, which we're so grateful for. I've just really enjoyed being a part of this process and seeing all the feedback that we've been receiving, because I know it is going to, as in all divine order, bring the right person to our family at Unity of Gaithersburg to lead us into future generations of the growth and the love of this organization and services. So that is our most recent update where we are. After service, we're going to continue to have a community dialogue session. So please join us at 12:15-ish today after the service and also join us through Zoom this Sunday as we're going to be talking in the heart of the moment and sharing our sacred safe space. Now we have an announcement from Amanda. So please join us up here, board member Amanda, an amazing person, Amanda.
Thank you. Hello again from the communications team. It has already been a month since our inaugural Sunday selfie, so we're going to be doing another one today, right after service. Today we're going to do it at the new and improved garden area. Yeah. And we have a selfie stick now, thanks to Jennifer. So if you would like to be in the group selfie for Sunday selfie, just meet right after service at that garden, and we'll take a selfie, and then check it out on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, like it, share it, all that good stuff, and we hope to see you there.
Thank you. Awesome sauce. Okay. So, are you called to serve on the Board of Trustees? We are now looking for additional people to help lead the way in our guidance. Please contact us at the adminunityofgaithersburg.org email for an application, and applications are due on October 8th. Congressional voting will occur at the annual meeting on November the 7th. And we'll be having membership class on October 7th and 8th, 7 to 8:30 p.m., and also on Zoom. For new members, yes. Youth and Family Ministries supply drive is coming up for our Caring Cottage. Help us contribute to the community at large with your donations. So, okay, and now our prayer for our transition process. Let us settle our minds as we come into this space. We hold a vision of a smooth, grace-filled, and peaceful ministry transition process, embracing our differences as we expand our consciousness of oneness and love. We trust the process of divine order. And now, our daily word. Faith. Through faith, I create the good I desire. Faith is my guiding light. It keeps me hopeful when I'm tempted to doubt and cheerful when I might otherwise feel gloomy. Faith tells me that even when the sky appears cloudy, the sun is still shining brightly above the clouds. Faith gives me a secure footing in the present as I plan for the future. Faith is the assurance that I am never alone and that everything I dream and do is divinely inspired. Every step I take in the direction of my aspirations is fueled by faith that they can come to pass. All of the wisdom, power, love, and strength of God are mine to express as only I can, leaving timidity and hesitancy behind. I use these divine attributes boldly and with confidence. Faith shows me the way forward. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. All's well. Special music? No. And now join us for the song All Is Well.
As I close my eyes and the world is amazed, I can feel my breath rise and fall. And the light inside just fills all my feet, and I hear a gentle voice calling. All is well. All is well. All is well. All is
And as we have returned to awareness of love's presence within us with this music and with the words of affirming that all is well, we accept, we embrace, we see ourselves, feel ourselves, knowing ourselves, stepping out and into the world full of willingness to know that our soul is fine exactly the way it is. All is well in our soul, all is well in the souls of humanity. Always have been, always shall be. And so this day is a time for perhaps remembering again, returning to awareness of the magnificence of love, of the healing, transformational power available at any given moment for us. And as we wonder why we are here, who have we come here to be? We pause a moment and we always know the answer. We've come here to be full of faith, full of wisdom, a power of imagination, a power of forgiveness. All are ours. And as we gathered together this morning with Unity of Gaithersburg, exploring a topic again that is very challenging and full of potential for transformation, the spiritual practice of anti-racism. This moment in time, we inquire within. Who have I come here to be on this journey? Is the journey continuing to be one of hope for something in the future? For a way of letting go and forgiving the past, sometimes the horrors of the past, or even what we might say the present moment. In this present moment, right this second, this millisecond, all is well. with our soul, with the souls of all humanity. And we are here to choose again. We may say to ourselves, I am willing. There's a part of me sometimes, sweet Spirit, that is not, and I ask for and I affirm willingness and guidance as to what is mine to do. Who have I come here to be in these difficult, challenging times where my past is not my potential. Our past as a human race is not our potential, no matter what we have done or how guilty we think we are or others are. And we say that from our source of divinity. Moving into the deep silence, we are aware, we are present, we are thankful in the silence. As we gently return our awareness to the space wherever we may be at this moment in time, we have a sense of clarity, a sense of purpose, a sense of renewed willingness to move forward in faith, knowing that our freedom lies in recognizing that we are here to make a difference in the world. We're here to know and to realize and to say that, yes, I know what is mine to do. Spirit will show me the path. Spirit, you have always shown me the path. And it is up to me in my human form to make the choice, to step out to and into creating and co-creating lasting change. It is my potential. It is my calling. And I pause for a moment and I hear my response. Perhaps I see it, perhaps I feel it. It's possible that we know that we can change the world. Our thoughts, our feelings, our intentions, our behavior, our action changes the world. And so we say, Amen. We say, it is so. And we give thanks to you, Jem, for your song, We Can Change the World. For indeed, we can, we are, and we will. Amen.
Lives are full of strife. Children are crying themselves to sleep at night. There are countries torn by war. We've seen it all before. so sure that they're right. We can change the world with loving kindness. Reach inside yourself and let it begin. We can take the past and put it behind us and let love guide us so that everyone wins. Everywhere you turn, there are lessons to be learned. We've all been waiting to join with one another through the course of many years. We've harbored all these fears. Love holds the secret that we are really brothers. We can change the world with loving kindness. Reach inside yourself and let it begin. We can take the past and put it behind us and let love guide us so that everyone wins. And the dream that we're all waking from has nearly run its course. Soon our confusion will cease. Despite how it appears to us, we've never left our source. Now a witness as miracles return us to our peace. A witness as miracles return us, oh, to our peace. Change the world with loving kindness. Reach inside yourself and let it begin. We can take the past and put it behind us and let love guide us so that everyone wins. I said let love guide us so that everyone wins.
Jim, that was marvelous. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you happen to compose that?
I don't know. I honestly don't know where these songs come from sometimes. I just, this was a long time ago. I wrote this when my children were real little. I think I was just inspired by them. They were in elementary school. And they were just all about loving kindness, you know, when they were really young.
Beautiful, beautiful. What a gift. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, folks, here we are on a Sunday in our midst of our fall program called the Spiritual Practice of Anti-Racism. And some of you have been a part of this on Sundays and also on Wednesdays. Last Wednesday we had a total of 14 folks on Zoom on a Wednesday night class, and everyone's invited for that. I want to take a moment right now and have Edie and Kathy come on up here. And this is a time that I wanted to do a check-in with the two of you. Come on, so I'll get over here so we can all be seen. Can I be between two magnificent women? I am so blessed. Okay. So it's time to do a check-in. The program is now, we've been planning this and we've been guided to have programs like this that's been unfolding as you all have seen it, and we've seen it too. And one thing that we really want to talk about is, so how are we individually doing in the midst of this program, as part of this program, and in our life? And what do we want to say about everything that's happening right now? So,
Well, I know for me, this journey has been, it's important for me personally, because I was raised in, the white culture and was not, was mostly oblivious to everything else. And so I didn't know what I didn't know, and I still don't know what I don't know. And I'm very grateful, personally, I'm very grateful that we're doing this, because it's just bringing, I'm becoming more aware. And my biggest, well, I should say one of my biggest learnings so far is how is the tendency, I'm noticing when I other people, and this is just people of color, this is, anybody who, I'm noticing when I judge people, because of something. When I choose a different kind of diet, I choose a vegan diet, and when I first got on the bandwagon, I began to judge people. Oh, how can you eat that, and how can you live that way, and and I've since begun to cure that, but now this course has opened me up to how do I other people? How do the way they look, the way they dress, the way they drive, the way they eat, the way they talk. I'm noticing that now. I'm becoming more acutely aware of my biases, not just, again, to people of color, but just why do I hold judgments against people at all? And so I'm grateful for this process.
Beautiful.
And so that's one of my big takeaways from this.
So I guess my takeaway is a bit different. This has been a journey for me, a learning experience. And some of the things that I've shared with you were things that I was never taught in school. So as I go through the experiences of African Americans and slavery and all the way up to the present day, a lot of this I learned in my adulthood. The first time I ever really got a Black history course was when I went to college. And that was my first experience in being interested in history, because I always felt so removed from it. But it's also a journey for me because I'm a woman of color speaking mostly to a white audience. And I have no idea what's going on in your mind as I share with you some of the experiences that we have had as a people. My hope is that you're receiving it in the manner in which it's intended. It's merely to share facts, information, education with you. My hope is that it inspires you to want to learn things on your own, that you don't just hear it from me, but you hear it for yourself. But all in all, I'm still enjoying the process because I feel the fact that you're here. Some of you are joining us on our Wednesday night class. Makes me feel hopeful that the message is getting across, the ideas that we share and the experiences that we have are affecting you in some kind of way, and hopefully affecting you in a positive way to want to see the world, not just from your framework, but from the framework of all of the people, especially people of color, and make you want to do something, on some kind of level, no matter how big or how small. So that's my hope.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I also want to acknowledge the wisdom and the courage of both of you to step up and into this topic. And yes.
You remind me of another huge learning, and that was very distressing to me, and that is how our own unity movement bought into the lie.
Yes.
And I was shocked, I was disheartened, And so I dug around. I began to do my own little research about it, and found that there are so many incredibly powerful religious leaders in the unity movement that are African American. We're not, there's a whole website about them, and I went and found out. But I'm just, it hurts to be part of this, knowing that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm just in a process about that now.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And as Cassie pointed out, this is our journey of learning. We have to learn about what happened.
Yeah.
And because we can't fix something if we didn't know about it.
Exactly.
And so I'm so
Exactly.
appreciative of you, of really bringing all this out for us to learn. So thank you.
You want to go with that?
Sure. Yeah, like Edie, when I found out about UWM's history, I was hurt. I just recently found out about it. I didn't really find out about it until I found out about the resolution. So I guess hearing about the resolution in conjunction with the history helped to ease the pain somewhat. But nevertheless, that whole thought process went through my head, is that how can an institution, a movement, a spiritual community that speaks of unity and inclusion and oneness have such racist practices? But then when I thought about it, it speaks to how systemic racism really is. And so that in and of itself really drives home the points that I'm trying to make in having this whole discussion, that racism is so systemic, and it really requires all of us to examine our thoughts and beliefs on a regular basis to understand, am I being fair in my actions and interactions with people of a different race than me? Am I thinking the way I need to be thinking to practice unity and oneness? So when I realized that, it helped to ease the pain somewhat, but really what helped to ease it was the resolution that UWM did. And I thought it was so powerful because not only did they recognize, acknowledge, and take ownership of their past practices, but they've done things about it. And really, that to me is the example that we want to set for the whole entire world, for all of us individually, and for this whole entire country, that we have to take things and put it into action.
Yeah. And one of the things that has been hitting me in all this, what we've been doing here at Unity of Gaithersburg, is my own journey with unity. I knew nothing about unity till my late 30s. I lived in Hawaii and found a Unity Church there. It changed my life. I became very passionate and just jumped right into everything. And I was so excited about the Unity movement, wanting to change everybody and tell everybody in the world about it and so on. And finally I said yes to becoming a minister. In 1990, at that time we had to spend 2 years full-time at Unity Village in Missouri, where this program has its roots. And I will say how shocked I was as I began to understand and hear some true stories about racism at Unity Village. And of course the whole state of Missouri. And these days we now know, at least I do, I'm aware that it's beyond even systemic. It is the nature of humanity in this human world everywhere ever since we've been here. And in some ways it's up for all of us. And one of the things I'll never forget was we had a couple of classmates. In my class, there were 4, I believe, that were people of color. And we all became very, very close. We had 35 students, and we became really very, very close. And we were really wondering, what's going on with the Unity movement? And some of us had pulled together also with the other students that we were in the second year. We created some programs with the second year students. And it was the first time that the Unity movement had really, in some ways, dived right into owning and being very specific about what these days we would call racist thoughts, and behavior and practices. And I had to deal with, at times I was wondering, do I want to stay on this path of being a unity minister? And I'm one of those, I want everything to be perfect. I want it to be the way I thought it was. And there may be some of you hearing some of this, if you haven't read everything that's online yet. We'll be talking a little bit more this morning, depending on our time. But read about the unity movement. And so as we become aware, as I have unconscious bias come very upfront to me and punch me in the gut and in the heart, we have a choice to make. The spiritual practices. We talk about spiritual practices of anti-racism. A spiritual practice would include what? What for you is a spiritual practice? For me, a big one has always been forgiveness. Beginning to believe and see that systems are created by humans and by people. And the only one that's going to change a system is who? It starts with me. It starts with you. All of us, individually and together. Go ahead, Edie. You were going to say something.
Well, I think it's one of the ways that I'm bringing my spiritual practice to bear on this is what I mentioned earlier, is just really minute to minute, moment by moment, noticing my responses. What is my response in this moment? And going, okay, I now have a choice, because we if stuff's unconscious, it just comes out and we don't think. But when we, as a spiritual practice, when we commit to becoming conscious and dedicating each moment to being the loving and creative and compassionate and cooperative and kind person that we know we are, then that, and we ask for help. I'm always asking for help from my spiritual posse when I'm noticing that I get a response that's unloving or judgmental or separate, anything that is contrary to my knowing that we are all one. We are all one, no matter what. And when a thought comes up in my mind or a reaction comes up to me, I'm thinking, okay, help me with this. Help me heal this. Noticing it. Because we can't change if we're not willing to be aware of the places within us that need to be changed, that create barriers to change, that create barriers to our innate oneness and wholeness.
So that speaks into, and what we're really focusing on today and this week is Unity's fifth principle. And among many organizations that are spiritual more than religious, when Unity came along and Charles and Myrtle Fillmore focused on, it's not enough to have your internal mind and heart changed by some spiritual practices like prayer, like affirmative prayer, like what we teach about oneness, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All this is really wonderful in some ways, but what's most important in some ways is, okay, so what are we going to do about it? What is ours to do? What is ours to be? Who are we come here to be in the midst of this? And as you see the slide, knowing and understanding spiritual truth is not enough. Once you receive your guidance, it is time to move into action. Spirit will guide you to the path, but you must walk the path. And the phrase I use to give a title to this experience today is the path of distant hope or lasting change. And I want to share this from a woman. I want to go there yet. I don't like what they did. Charlene Manuel, Reverend Charlene Manuel, is a Unity minister. She's on the board of Unity World Headquarters as a board member, and she is an author. She's done wonderful, positive change in her life. And she has been a big part of what both Unity organizations, Unity Worldwide Headquarters and Unity Worldwide Ministries, have done in terms of owning up to their past. And she says, it is an honor for the first time in my 25 years as a minister to say, I believe we are finally on the path to making lasting changes from the painful part of systemic racism to practicing the love, oneness, and unity that are at the heart and the soul of Unity teachings. And I would share that with her. She has a very different experience than I do. But what's happening with the Unity movement is that we are on a path of incredible lasting change. And by having this kind of session right now, when we were first talking about this, I was having some resistance. I mean, I don't know that I wanted to step into that. It could be a hornet's nest. I got all kinds of thoughts and things about, oh, well, people, and here we are, white folks talking about racism, and what am I going to do about being white? And I go on and on and on and on, and you have the same thing. Do you have any times of uncomfortableness? So here we are. And so depending on what our time is, I don't know if we can have time for diving into. I do want to strongly encourage you, if you haven't been reading the essential resource list that's in our newsletter of all kinds of information, not only about the Unity movement, about everything around racism, and that's only a beginning. And so one of my invitations is to take a look at what have you been doing? Is there more that you want to do and to learn? Wednesday nights, 2 more Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. So meanwhile, what we want to do now is get back to the 5th principle, Unity's principle of putting your feet in action. And otherwise it's a dead-end street, you know. We're just sitting around, woe or us, woe is me. And let somebody else do it. I don't feel guided to do that. It's not mine to do. We have all kinds of reactions to that. So we have time for maybe 4 people, maybe more. If you're willing to, and Edie and Kathy are going to walk forward with the mic. And if you have anything you'd like to share around a spiritual practice that you are currently doing or have been doing or are considering for best practices, raise your hand, and we will see what we can do with having you share with us, and we thank you for your willingness to share. So go ahead and walk out there, folks, and if you have you want to say something, raise your hand.
Who wants the sacred mic?
And Kathy can go. Kathy will go first. Who else?
Any brave souls? There we go.
Well, what you brought to mind, Edie, was one of my issues of judging others. And one of the ways I've judged people is how they present themselves, not visually, but how they speak. And so I put all these barriers up around people who I believe don't know how to speak. And but then as you were talking, I thought, well, what do we do as children and people learning in school and growing up? We develop a skill of some kind, and then we put on ourselves, this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. And so then I do it this way because I've learned that. Why didn't they learn it? Yeah. You know, so just look and see where you put the walls up.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Somebody else.
Yeah, I just want to comment that that is well said. I mean, it's a typical example of how we make judgments about others based on our own experiences. And you may have gone to a school that taught you how to speak and write fluently, and there's so many people who never had that opportunity. Yet it's so quick to judge somebody because they're not like you. And that's only one example of many.
Okay, right here. Kathy, you want to take it?
Speaking to this thing. Okay, anyhow, I kind of come from the Buddhist tradition, so, and you just deal with, got to speak into this thing, got to deal with your shadow. Don't try to push it away, because you push your shadow away, bad things happen. And there is, according to science, racism and that otherness is innate in every human being, down to just being prettier than other people, or, you know, you got to be better. And anyhow, all this kind of stuff, it is a sign of a lack of unity with God, or with spirit, or the universe, or whatever you want to fill that blank in with the words. So there's a meditative practice. And this is just one. There's several of them, but I'll just give this one as an example. And it's you sit in meditation, you put your hand out there, and you imagine there's a little flame in your hand. Okay, the flame does not hurt you. It's up above your hand about a couple of inches. And when you get that thought or that feeling or that thing that you are dealing with, your shadow, you imagine it's there in your hand. And the more that you sit with it, the more you detach from it. And you got to get rid of the judgment, because when you have a thought that's like, you know, really kind of bad, you feel shameful. And you've got judgment on yourself. And then that causes you to push it away. And pushing it away is just not the right way to do it. So you sit with it, and you keep it, and you get to the point where you can detach from it, and then it becomes your tool.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Because that tool is there to tell you. It's like a sensor or something on an electronic piece of something, and it tells you that you don't have the unity with the God source, with the universe, with the, you know, whatever you want to put there. But it shows you that you don't have that. And then instead of guilting you into trying to get to the God source and trying to go there, your guilt is here in the hand and is detached from you. You don't feel the guilt. And what automatically happens is you're just drawn into the unity with God without any nasty motivation or anything, no guilt. You're just like, okay, this exists. You draw into the unity of God, and these things just flow.
Yes.
Anyhow, my meditative practice, there's others.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You want to add?
How do you top that?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We have a couple more. You want to say something? No. Okay.
So I mentioned this in the class on Wednesday, but a spiritual practice that I've been working with is listening. Truly listening. I really didn't start taking that on till maybe like the last couple of years, when I realized, like, I need to put myself in other people's shoes and just listen to them and what they've been through. In this case, especially people of color, their experiences, their feelings, just listen. And then I wanted to take that a step further, as I've been working with that, also giving them a voice if you have, you know, a way or a platform to do that. For others. And for example, I have a business, so I have a platform that I can give people of color and others a voice. So that's kind of where I've taken that now.
Beautiful.
Yay, thank you very much, Amanda. That reminds me of the belief and the concept that everybody ever wants is to be heard. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have one more. We have time for one more. Mike, did you want to say something?
Going back to the fifth principle, the concept of sending thoughts and prayers. To me, it's necessary but never sufficient, and that there is a concrete dimension of spiritual practice is something a lot of people are either not embracing or are unaware of. But things like, do you show up to march? Do you vote with this in mind? Do you do the research? Do you donate to causes that matter? There are so many things that you can do that are concrete in our human, because spiritual beings having a human experience. We've got to engage in that humanity of that we swirl in and live in to really bring this to fruition and make a change. So, thank you.
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, we put feet to our prayers.
Well, I think we want to close now for this time. And something that stays with me is the word willingness. And so let's tap willingness and put it together with the Unity fifth principle. Are we willing, to what degree are we individually and collectively willing to step out there and do what is ours to do? And we all know that no one can tell you what is yours to do. And sometimes we can't even tell ourselves because we're not paying attention or whatever it is, or we're so whatever it is. And the concept, Edie, that you've brought up a lot is the term other. We other ourselves, we other a situation, we other people. And so the bottom line is trust your heart. We trust our heart to guide us. We trust our mind to be open and receptive, and that we will walk with the highest level of consciousness on this planet. One way of saying that is it's 1 foot on earth, 1 foot on heaven. That's how you walk. You can walk and not have that balance. But do we want to be balanced? And so it's unity, oneness. Some last words. Go ahead, both.
Yeah, my last word. I just want to reinforce what Mike said. When you make yourself more aware of what's going on in the world between the races, whether you do it on your own research or listening to legitimate news sources, reading legitimate newspapers, however you do it is really so important, because that does affect your thinking. When you go to the polls to vote, and I pray to God that you do go to the polls to vote, you are informed about the candidates that support the viewpoints that you know are necessary for us to come back into our oneness, because right now we're not there. So thanks, Mike, for bringing up that point.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. God is blessing us now and always. Amen.
Children of the world, red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. Do that again. Do that again. Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world, red and yellow, black and white, precious in the sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. Everything is beautiful in its own way, like the starry summer night or a snow-covered winter's day. Everything is beautiful in your own way. In God's heaven, the world's gonna find there is none so blind as he who will not see. We must not close our minds, gotta let our thoughts be free. Every hour that passes by, you know the world gets a little bit older. Time to realize that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful
in its own way.
in its own way. Like the starry summer night or a snow-covered winter's day. Sing it, children. Everything is beautiful in its own way. Under God's heaven, the world's gonna find a way. We shouldn't care about the length of his hair or the color of his skin. Don't worry about what shows from without, but the love that lies within. We're gonna get it all together now, and everything's gonna work out fine. Just take a little time to look on the good side, my friend, and straighten it out in your mind. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful
In its own way.
in its own way. Like the starry summer night, a snow-covered winter's day. Everything is beautiful. Everybody's beautiful in its own way. Under God's heaven, the world's gonna find a way. Under God's heaven, the world's gonna find the way.
Gorgeous. Again, wonderful music. So now it is time to invest in the love and the services of the Unity of Gaithersburg through your tithes and offerings. Of course, we have these envelopes, if you're here in person, on the back of the chairs. If you would like to use that envelope and donate into the box at the back of the sanctuary. You can also do text to give at 301-918-5625, your donation. And we always appreciate all the money that we have to support not just Unity of Gaithersburg, but many of the wonderful organizations that we choose to share our tithes with in addition. So do follow the prompts. And now for our love blessing, love offering blessing. Divine love, I am, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am so grateful.
Stand up for stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up for your rights.
Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what this life is really worth. Not all that glitters is gold. Half the story has never been told. Now that you see the light, stand up for your rights. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Most people think that God will come from the skies, take everything away, make everybody feel high. If you know what life is worth, you'll look for yours on the earth. Now let's see the light. Stand up for your rights. Yeah. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Ooh. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Yeah, yeah. Doing it for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. One more time, say, get up and stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
So as you can see, we wanted to say a big thank you to all of you for the
Try again.
for the donations through the Caring Cottage, and for all that you do for the youth of our community. So thank you all for being a part of our lives. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. And because it's October, I would be amiss if I don't mention that at the end of the month will be the chili cook-off. So just a reminder for the cooks in the room, please start preparing for our chili cook-off, which will actually be on Halloween this year. So very exciting, our spooky chili cook-off. So that's the one announcement I wanted to make. So guys, repeat after me. I am the light of the world.
I am the light of the world.
I live as the light.
I live as the light.
And tell them, you are the light of the world.
You are the light.
And please join us all together.
We are the light of the world. We live as the light. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, children and youth. We're so blessed by all of you. We give thanks to you. We give thanks to Edie and to Kathy and to Pam and to the band and everyone. All this energy. Yes, yes, yes. And our AV people. So let's form an energetic circle for let there be peace on earth.
Let this be the moment now.
And your light blesses the world as it always has, and you do it with great joy and great awareness this week. And we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And amen.
Everything is beautiful in its own way, like a starry summer night or snow-covered winter's day. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. Under God's heaven, the world's gonna find a way. There is none so blind as he who will not see. We must not close our minds. Gotta let our thoughts be free. For every hour that passes by, you know the world gets a little older. Time to realize that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. In their own way. Like a starry summer night or snow-covered winter